Broadcasting House, New England in Freetown. Hello and welcome to Newshour live on TV. My name is Frances Bana. Coming up in this edition of the news, President Julius Maada Bio calls for a stronger leadership across Africa at Oxford Africa Conference 2026. FBC Alumni Association to organize a float party as part of bicentenary activities marking the institution's anniversary celebrations. And Electricity and Water Regulatory Commission launches public awareness campaign on the updated multi-year tariff order. These stories plus more, including business and sports, lined up in this edition of News are live on TV. You stay with us for the next 45 minutes if you can. It's News Are Live in Freetown. We start with our first story. President Julius Maada Bio, who is also chairman of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, has called for strong leadership across Africa as the continent navigates an era of global disruption, political undermining, climate pressure, and technological transformation. Speaking at the Oxford African Conference held at the University of Oxford in the UK, President Bio said Africa's future would depend not only on reclaiming its voice, but also on building durable institutions capable of withstanding modern challenges. Addressing scholars, policymakers, and members of the African diaspora and students at the conference, the Sierra Leonean leader stressed that Africa's challenges are deeply interconnected and cannot be addressed in isolation. As president of Sierra Leone and current chairman of ECOWAS, President Bio reflected on Sierra Leone's own journey through civil conflict, Ebola, economic hardship, and climate vulnerabilities, describing the country as an example of resilience and steady reform. And now, the Anti-Corruption Commission has cleared the administration of the University of Sierra Leone over alleged financial and procurement irregularities between 2021 and 2023. Speaking on Good Morning Sierra Leone, journalist and media commentator James Tambalebi described the issue as being driven by personal vendettas, grudges, and abuse of office by the minister. Meanwhile, ACC Public Relations Officer Alex Eber affirmed that no wrongdoing was discovered following investigations into the allegation. To know on these issues, let's have an excerpt of what they said on Good Morning Sierra Leone.
Our intention when we commence investigation, it is not to win or lose. It is to review the evidences before us and to make a determination at the end of the investigations, what are the actions that we're going to take. We investigate, and depending on the outcome, it would inform us whether we're going to prosecute, whether we're going to invoke provisions in Section 89, the non-conviction recovery model, whether we're going to do systems review, as in this case, making recommendations for addressing certain systems deficiencies. So in this particular matter with the University of Sierra Leone, investigation arose from several issues that came to our attention. And those issues at the end of our investigation revealed lots of issues around procedural fairness, jurisdictional inconsistencies by, for example, a committee which was established to comment on investigations that involve certain senior officials within the University of Sierra Leone, but also on issues around unresolved or unreconciled, financial or audits. Yes, on the issue of financial management.
Yes.
Even before we came in to do this particular investigations, which we have concluded on, the Audit Service Sierra Leone had already done its probe, and they had cleared the university of any wrongdoing whatsoever or any financial irregularity. But even beyond the Audit Service Sierra Leone, the ACC ourselves, we had already previously investigated. Our investigation also showed that there were no wrongdoing. So when a committee of this sort was constituted, it made no difference to those conclusions of those previous investigations done by the ACC and the Audit Service Sierra Leone, and they did their investigations independent of those conclusions, which were only reconciled. That was just one issue.
Investigation. Currently, two things. One, the minister has been reinstated while a previous grant is being administered by a private firm. Two, she gained funding under the university, unknown to the university, but administered by that private firm. And Malam O is an employee of that private firm.
No, Mr.
Let me explain.
The issues are many.
In fact, I have documents to the effect. Let me explain. I have documents to the effect. When Malam O eventually submitted that report, her salary increased. I cannot tell whether it was in compensation of that dirty job he did or was a coincidence, but there was a difference, and he was even giving a salary back payment.
Okay,
so there is a clear court conflict of
interest. No, the
and it was a vendetta to stop Professor Samai from becoming.
Those were views from both James Tamalabi, from a journalist, and also Alex Eba from the Anti-Corruption Commission. Frabe College Alumni Association Sierra Leone chapter will be organizing a float parade as part of its centenary activities, marking the institution's anniversary celebrations under the theme Legacy, Leadership and Learning. Speaking to our reporter Alwyn Roy Fox, the secretary of the association, Dr. Teddy Fodi Musa, said the event aims to promote unity among alumni, celebrate the rich history of Frabe College, and support ongoing development initiatives within the institution.
Frabe College was established in 1827. 200 years coming, for next year will turn Frabe College into an institution that has served many people, great minds, some of them beyond this country. So Frabe College used to be referred to as the Athens of West Africa, first university that served not only West Africa but Africa as a whole. So we are turning 200 years in February next year. We have done a lot behind the scenes, and it is time that we come out in the public. And this is why we are coming up with a float parade. That will be on the 23rd, this Saturday, 7 a.m. We'll converge at the old Frabe College point in Kleintown, where Frabe College actually started. Most people did not know that Frabe College started in Frabe itself, in the area of Frabe, and that's why, in fact, the name comes Frabe. That's in Kleintown. We have the old building. So we'll be converging from that point, and we'll have a street parade right through the streets of Freetown. We will end up at Stadium, where we'll make speeches, and dignitaries of Frabe College, the well-wishers, friends as well, will all be there. For 200 years, as Frabe College is coming by next year, it is clear that it has left its own legacy, and it's a learning institution, of course. That legacy speaks more loud towards transforming people, people who have become holders of PhD, people who have become professors, people who are not only giving to their country, but they are also professionals serving in the United Nations, serving in higher international institutions. We want to uplift Frabe College, and so the administration, the bicentenary committee themselves has spelled out a good number of projects that we should undertake. And what we have done as the Alumni Association is to pick up two of those projects, make it ours and run with them. We want to raise funds towards that. One of it is the electrification of Frabe College. We want to see Frabe College not coming on and off with the electricity challenge we have. It's an academic institution. Lecturers are there. Some of them will wake up. They need the correct data to go into the system where they want to, and they fix up their learning materials for their students. Students as well are on campus. We don't need this on and off light. So we have taken up that single project as what we can deliver on as the alumni. The second project is the beautification of Frabe College itself. We want to beautify it. Before next year, the February start off proper, we will have to paint all the buildings at Frabe College. We want to beautify certain places. We cannot do it alone, but we are going out to raise funds. That will be our own contribution. Frabe College Alumni Association, the Sierra Leone chapter. So those two projects are what we want to deliver on.
That was the Secretary of the FBC Alumni Association, Dr. Teddy Fude Musa, talking about their proposed float parade as part of bicentenary activities marking the institution's anniversary celebrations. Now, members of Frabe College Muslim Jamaat have turned the sword for the construction of a new place of worship on campus. The venture is meant to provide a conducive and spacious structure that would accommodate the growing number of Muslim students. Mohammed Simbikoma tells us more.
Past and present members of the Frabe College Muslim Jamaat converged to witness the turning of the sword for the construction of a new mosque. The project appears to be ambitious, but the Jamaat is targeting to complete the project in the next 2 years. The chairman of the occasion, Dr. Mohammed Abdullah Koroma, encouraged the congregation to work together and support the project. He said the proposed ultra-modern structure is worth $3.6 million.
We have less than 100,000 in our account, and the budget of the engineers is $3.6 million US. Among the Sadaqah Jariyah, continuous charity, is what we are coming to witness today, the construction of a masjid. As long as the masjid is standing and people are praying there, people are carrying out Islamic activities there, will continue getting reward till the day of resurrection.
The first imam of the previous FBC mosque, Dr. Ibrahim Salou Kamara, recounted the circumstances that led to the construction of the maiden FBC mosque. He called on past members, both home and abroad, to support the initiative. The Deputy Registrar of Frabe College, Brahmaja, lauded FBC Muslim Jamaat for the venture. He said the project was being undertaken at a time when the college is about to observe its 200th anniversary.
This project is recognized by the administration as one of those projects that will transform the face and image of Frabe College. So that is why we are very, very heartened as an administration by the boldness of the Frabe College Muslim Jamaat.
After the demolition of the previous structure in 2024, the Muslim community is currently praying in a makeshift structure that is not conducive. The occasion also saw pledges and donations together with a site visitation. For SLBC, Mohammed Kouma reporting.
It's News Hour live on TV. If you are just joining us, you're watching News Hour live on SLBC, and we are broadcasting live from Broadcasting House New Englandville in Freetown. We continue with the news. The 27th batch of the China medical team has marked the World Hypertension Day by providing free medical service to people of Otlo in the Western Area Rural District. The initiative aims to enhance local health awareness and provide direct medical aid while strengthening the friendship between China and Sierra Leone. SLBC's Abdul Mansari was there and in our report.
The free medical treatment by the 27th batch of the China medical team featured a comprehensive health package that included professional blood pressure checks, health profiling, public lectures on hypertension prevention and care, and the free distribution of essential antihypertensive medications. Many people residing in Watslu converged at the Watslu Community Health Center to receive the humanitarian gesture from the China medical team. Associate Chief Physician from the Chinese medical team, Jin Shaxin, emphasized the significance of addressing hypertension, calling it a silent killer due to its asymptomatic nature. She advocated for changes of lifestyle to prevent the condition, which can lead to a severe health complications such as stroke, heart failure, and kidney disease.
China and Sierra Leone are friends through thick and thin. Your health is our priority. We are committed to standing with you, shoulder to shoulder, to fight against non-communicable disease.
The Principal Public Health Superintendent in the Ministry of Health, Kaisama Sware, highlighted the initiative's focus on tackling hypertension, a major health concern in the country. He noted that if successful, there are plans to extend the program to other communities. Sware stressed the essence of knowing one's blood pressure status and managing lifestyle factors to control hypertension effectively.
Put all our problems behind us. When you put your problems behind you and you control your eating habits, something that can cause the hypertension, you stop it after when you are being advised, then that can really reduce the hypertensive case.
A beneficiary, Lucy Masakoi, shared her personal experience with hypertension, stating that it often creates distraction for her work. Lucy underscored the significance of such initiatives as a victim of the condition, particularly given their impact on her work and daily life.
They are doing so much for us, really, because it's a great sacrifices they are doing for people. Because, as you said, the economy is very difficult for us all now.
The collective voices of beneficiaries reflect a deep appreciation for the medical team's commitment to improving health outcomes in Sierra Leone. As World Hypertension Day comes to a close, the Chinese medical team's efforts in Watslu serves as a reminder of the importance of community health initiatives and international collaboration in addressing pressing health issues. SLBC News, Abdul Mansari reporting.
All work and no play, they say, makes Jack a dull boy. For the Friends of Family Club, their annual health walk is not only about promoting friendship and group fun, it is also about raising awareness about the essence of a healthy living and mobilizing resources for community development. The organization's 2026 health walk attracted dozens of people from all walks of life, including government officials and development partners. Soyikama has more in this report.
The Friends Family Club's Walk with Friends 2026 attracted dozens of participants on Saturday morning. The walk set off from the Aberdeen roundabouts. Participants marched through major streets and ended at the Sunnyside Club on Lumley Beach. It drew people from all walks of life, including government officials, youth groups, civil society organizations, development partners, and business leaders. Organizers, including the chairman of the Friends Family Club, Abubakar Sila, said the event was not only about promoting friendship or group fun, but it was also about raising awareness on the importance of regular exercise, healthy living, and collective action toward cleaner and healthier communities.
We thought it fit to give back to local community because
that's where we belong. It's like a family. So every Sunday we play football, we cook for the community, we eat together, we feel belong. So we thought it's fit. There is a public toilet there that is not in good condition. It has been damaged for a very, very long time. So we thought it's fit to renovate it and provide clean water also, because the schools that are around there and the houses do not have access to clean water. So we thought it's fit. We'll do a hand pump and also renovate the public toilet. But we needed to raise funds. We don't have all the money. So the health work was purposely to raise funds, and then also for health purposes, to raise funds so that we can embark on this project and deliver on the project.
Participants lauded the organization for organizing the event, describing the march as not only timely but also impactful to healthy body and community development. The Friends Family Club, which was started about 20 years ago, is a charity organization based in Laka. The head of the group said they have undertaken projects such as WASH in support to the quality of life in the community. Soy Kamara, SLBC News, Freetown.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
The Rotary Club of Freetown has reaffirmed its commitment to the humanitarian service with a visit to the King George V Memorial Home for the Aged in Crafton. The outreach forms part of the club's annual activities aimed at supporting vulnerable groups, particularly the elderly. Aminat Bangura report.
During the visit, members donated essential food and household items valued at approximately 25,000 leones. Items presented included rice, water, drinks, onions, cooking oil, among others. Beyond the donation, Rotarians spent time engaging with residents of the home, sharing meals, listening to their experiences, and offering companionship, showing that emotional support is as important as material aid. Dr. Muriel Harris, project chair and member of the Rotary Club of Freetown, stated that the club carries out the donation annually at the King George VI Memorial Home for the Aged.
Rotary supports, and we know a lot of people support, but I think we also need to think about what their needs are. So one of the things that I would like to see us do as Rotary Club is to do another assessment of where the greatest need is for project, actual service project, which we could do as Rotarians, in addition to what we do here at the end of the year.
Joyce John, a councillor and member of the management team at the King George VI Memorial Home for the Aged, thanked the Rotary Club of Freetown on behalf of the residents for their continued support and care. The visit provided essential support while promoting compassion and dignity for the elderly, showing that true service is about both giving and human connection. Dr. Doroda Milisk, popularly known as Rotarian Radcliffe and past president of the club, explained that Rotary Club is a global humanitarian organization focused on supporting people and communities. He emphasized that membership is voluntary, with individuals contributing their time, resources, and talents to assist those in need and improve the lives of less fortunate members of society. SLBC, Aminata Bangua reporting.
Now, as electricity tariff rates set to increase in some mini-grid communities due to improvement measures, the Sierra Leone Electricity and Water Regulatory Commission has announced the launch of the popularization and public awareness campaign for the updated multi-year tariff order MYTO2, an alternative electricity supply measure in rural communities. Suleiman Papaturi tells us more.
Got the tariff between, just like one of the was saying, between ETA and those people, the difference is scale.
The multi-year tariff order MYTO2 is a system designed to ensure electricity tariffs are fair, transparent, and predictable. The purpose of the updated version was to encourage investment in infrastructure and balance affordability for customers with the real cost of delivering reliable electricity service. According to the Director General of the Sierra Leone Electricity and Water Regulatory Commission, Festus Calais, the updated MYTO introduced stronger oversight mechanisms, clearer tariff adjustment procedures, and enhanced safeguards to protect customers against inefficiencies. It was stated that such facilities cater for mini-grid communities in Sierra Leone.
Electricity supply requires continuous investment in infrastructure, maintenance, fuel, technology, and skilled human resources. Without a sustainable framework for cost recovery, it becomes difficult to improve and expand electricity services across the country.
The last review on such tariff was around 2020 to 2021, with the current tariff rate in mini-grid communities around 0.72%, equivalent to 8 leons per unit, and the rate was expected to go to 0.82%, which is around 10 leons per unit. The factors said to be considered during such review included generation cost, inflation, exchange rates fluctuations, maintenance and operations cost, infrastructural investment, and service sustainability requirements. The tariff would be different from community to community because there were different operators with different electricity systems. Looking at the importance of such electricity system to the country, the Deputy Minister 2 of Energy, Dr. Abdul Jallo, thanked EWRC and its partners for their role in improving the electricity system and admonished them to continue improving and investing in electricity.
This mission is being sponsored by the Soria project, but we have other mini-grid projects that are not Soria. They will also benefit from this.
As part of its public awareness campaigns, the Sierra Leone Electricity and Water Regulatory Commission and its partners would embark on a roadshow sensitization campaign to enlighten beneficiaries in district headquarter towns like Bo, Makeni, Kono, Moyamba, and Putloko. The engagement would target community stakeholders, youth and women leaders, among others, to get hear their concerns and improve their understanding on the benefits and expected responsibilities within the electricity service delivery chain. It is believed that this development is going to help address electricity challenge in the country. SLBC News, Sulaiman Babatu reporting.
Still on energy supply, the Electricity Distribution and Supply Authority a few days ago informed the public about a 12-day shutdown of the Bumbuna hydroelectric power plant for annual maintenance. The notice noted the move was to strengthen the reliability of the national grid with a load management schedule amidst the growing concern of power outage across the country. How will EDSA and EGTC navigate the distribution of electricity across the country during this period? Moses Conte tells us more.
The Electricity and Supply Authority says Freetown needs about 80 megawatts. At the moment, Bumbuna only produces 2 megawatts because of the low level of River Rokel. Minister of Energy Cyril Arnold Grant says maintenance of the Bumbuna Hydro Dam has been a normal routine for the past 8 years, especially between April and May.
It's particularly terrible because the main generator that we have, Bumbuna, which is a hydro dam, at this time of year, every year, goes down, and in fact, it doesn't produce more than 2 megawatts that comes to Freetown. On a typical day in Freetown, we need about 80 megawatts to keep everybody happy. At the peak in the evening, when everybody is home, the air conditioners and everybody is home, we need about 80 megawatts. So you can imagine that Bumbuna, as it is right now, because of the level of water, only produces 2 megawatts, and it is backed up by, in the daytime, we have some solar feeds. We have about 15 megawatts from Makot. We have now, fortunately for us, a new project, Newton, which is still under construction, but that produces anywhere from about 10 to about 22 megawatts. And then, of course, we also have car power, which we've contracted for them to produce about 45. So it's a problem every year, and especially now.
He added several projects are on the way to solve electricity challenges.
So in the future, I envision a system where we won't have to have this discussion about power. Power will be available. And we are working, as I told you, we are working with sources of power that are going to be solar. What I'm saying is that 2026 is going to be the last year that is a reality for Sierra Leoneans. Yes, it's going to be 2027, but right around the corner, the Newton plant is already generating. It's not completed, but I was there about 2 weeks ago, and it was already pulling out in excess of 20 megawatts of power during the day, because it's a solar plant.
Mr. Grant also assures the public for an alternative solution of availability of electricity during the maintenance period.
So we've told them, no, you cannot extend this for 11 days. We can give you the maximum of 5 days. Let all the staff work overtime shifts, make sure they work around the clock to make sure that we can do all the maintenance we needed done over the next 5 days in preparation for the new rain season. At the same time, we've spoken to Power and they've agreed. They're going to increase their production from 45 to 65 megawatts. That now will give us enough power, and they will power those 4 transformers that I spoke about, which will now transmit power to all areas, at least 80% of the network will be power.
So, Mr.
The minister appeals to the public to exercise patience.
The last batch of Sierra Leonean pilgrims comprising 267 people are set to depart Freetown for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The first 2 batches have arrived safely, but they are awaiting the rest of the congregation. Hajj is the 5th pillar of Islam, and it is compulsory upon every Muslim with the physical and financial capabilities to perform. Mohammed Kuruma, a report.
826 pilgrims from Sierra Leone are expected to perform this year's Hajj. 559 have already departed for Saudi Arabia, whilst the final batch, comprising 267, are on their way to the kingdom. The pilgrims appear to be in great spirits as they anticipate what lies ahead. Hajj is the 5th pillar of Islam, and it is compulsory upon every Muslim who has the financial and physical capabilities. According to Islamic teachings, the entire Hajj exercise lasts for 5 days, starting from the 8th day of the Islamic calendar, which is on the 26th May this year. For SLBC, Mohammed Kuruma reporting.
Well, the SLBC will keep you updated about the status of our Sierra Leoneans performing Hajj this year. A gender and power analysis survey conducted across 10 public universities in Sierra Leone has revealed widespread concerns over sexual and gender-based violence, SGBV, with researchers highlighting weak institutional policies, low awareness levels, and inadequate reporting mechanisms within tertiary institutions. The findings were disclosed during a validation meeting held under the Building Respect and Anti-Violence Education for Women and Girls BRIEF project implemented by Saint Sierra Leone. Here's the report.
The Gender and Power Analysis Report aims to promote equality and strengthen inclusive learning environments across public universities in the country. Speaking at the event, Country Director of St. Sierra Leone, Joseph Ayamga, said many students enter universities in pursuit of education, but often leave burdened by fear, silence, and emotional trauma caused by abuse and intimidation. He warned that universities risk normalizing violence and harassment if stronger accountability and protection systems are not established.
When 66% of students do not know where to report sexual and gender-based violence, silence has become institutional. And when only 7% trust the confidentiality of reporting systems, then trust itself is in crisis.
Presenting the findings, Sheka Kamara, head of research at Yamsal Services, disclosed that the survey engaged more than 3,500 students alongside university management staff across 10 public university campuses using a mixed method approach. According to the report, one of the major gaps identified is the absence of comprehensive provisions on SGBV in the Universities Act, which only addresses sexual harassment while overlooking broader forms of gender-based violence. The survey also found that awareness of GBV policies among students remains significantly low across most institutions.
So one of the things we find out that there is low awareness of GBV policy within the university. We find out that a lot of university students, some they're not even aware that there are laws. We are like 47% of the university students who said they do not know if there is any law on SGBV.
Following the presentation, stakeholders reacted to the findings with mixed feelings, while also calling for urgent need for reforms.
There is a system that no one person can go beyond. So to create the impression that students are afraid to complain, but at the end of the day, they will be victimized for that. That is the problem, in fact. The problem really is that most of these students are not sensitized enough to know that it is their right, to know that there are channels, they can take up their matters, and these matters will be addressed.
Participants were later divided into working groups to develop practical recommendations aimed at addressing SGBV and strengthening survival support systems within universities. Project manager Augusta Nyambe explained that the BRAVE project was initiated following several studies that revealed the widespread prevalence of SGBV within the education sector.
The BRAVE project came as a result of a visibility studies which we did way back then, and it tells us that the issues around gender-based violence is very prevalent within the educational system, especially within the tertiary educational institution. And when you look at the awareness level, it's been very limited. And then in terms of reporting again, people are not reporting because of fear of stigma, of issue of confidentiality.
She further disclosed that the next phase of the initiative will focus on harmonizing existing university policies and develop a standardized GBV policy framework for tertiary institutions across Sierra Leone. Emmanuel Samora, SLBC.
That was Emmanuel Samora reporting. The National Revenue Authority, NRA, has commissioned the newly constructed border crossing post at Chendema in Pujehun District, marking another milestone in Sierra Leone's drive towards customs modernization, improved border security, and enhanced revenue generation. Esther Suzanette Bassi reports.
Officially, for this ruling,
the new facility is expected to strengthen trade and improve operational efficiency at one of the country's key border entry points. The National Revenue Authority, NRA, announced that the Asikuda automated customs system, together with banking services, will be operational at the border post to enhance transparency, tax compliance, and revenue mobilization. Speakers also stressed the need for modern technology, digitalization, information sharing, and coordinated border management to address challenges posed by illicit trade and cross-border crimes.
This facility is going to house customs, but it's going to be a reference point of our collective determination to move our country to a financial independent state.
From the time you pave this road, the number in the revenue collection across the border has changed. And as part of that, in recent time, we won the second highest place, rural border collection. That is because of the road connectivity that we have with Sierra Leone. So this country now become my second home because I'm benefiting a lot from Sierra Leone.
The NRA board chairman described the completion of the border post as a major achievement, adding that the new facility would improve trade security, revenue administration, and working conditions for customs officers.
This is an achievement which is the first of the kind where NRA has solely funded and constructed an office space for its own.
Local chiefdom authorities welcomed the project and expressed appreciation to the NRA for its continued support to communities in the area. They highlighted several community development initiatives undertaken by the authority, including the rehabilitation of a primary school, support to a health center, and efforts in combating drug-related activities within the chiefdom. The NRA says the operationalization of the Asikuda automated system and banking services at the Gendema border crossing post will significantly improve efficiency, transparency, revenue collection, and trade facilitation at Sierra Leone's border operations. For SLBC News, Esther Susanette Bassi reporting.
This is Newshour Live on SLBC, and we are broadcasting live from Broadcasting House, New Englandville in Freetown. Stay tuned for more interesting stories. Bloomberg Africa Sierra Leone Limited has met with key players in the finance sector to discuss on artificial intelligence for finance professionals in Freetown. Policymakers and other industry stakeholders discussed on how they can use AI to transform financial strategy, reporting, and decision-making in modern-day system. Aminata Bangura reports.
AI for finance professionals was the central discussion of the session. It also brought out practical applications of AI in improving efficiency, strengthening financial analysis, and enhancing business operations within Sierra Leone's financial sector. Board Chair of Bloomberg, Aminata Kamara, said, "Nowadays, millions of Sierra Leoneans use smartphones that connect them instantly to global information." She said, "The digital revolution is shaping the way people live and work. The reason using such platforms for financial transactions was needed."
What once sat in academic labs and science fiction stories is becoming part of everyday life. AI is more than a new tool. It is reshaping every sector in our economy. It is helping banks use data to strengthen risk management, supporting the healthcare profession to detect diseases from imaging, and enabling farmers to forecast yields with satellite data. The momentum is remarkable and can only grow.
Director of Financial Management, System and Technology, Ministry of Finance, Sierra Leone, Dr. Simeon Jonjo, said that the financial sector is critical to economic growth and national development. However, he went on, access to finance has been a challenge for the people. He said, government and its partners through financial legislations would explore ways to enhance financial inclusion, increase efficiency across industries, reduce fraud, improve customer experience, and develop smarter economic policies.
Sierra Leone, but within the global financial sector, we have to improve our internet connectivity so that we can reach out and they can reach us. We have to have that reach globally. We also need to transform our power sector because, as you know already, artificial intelligence consumes a lot of power, and it has to be on a 24/7 basis because we've got cognitive AI, we've got all kinds of AI that keeps learning. So the more data you feed it, the more it learns and the more productive and useful it can be.
Gideon Bafo, the facilitator of the event, took participants through the session, guiding them on key concepts and practical insights related to the topic. The session wrapped off with participants leveraging artificial intelligence to strengthening the financial sector, improving efficiency, and support smarter decision-making Within Sierra Leone's evolving economy, Bloombank Africa Sierra Leone Limited partnered with Awkward Knowledge Academy to capacitate financial experts on latest financial trends not limited to the use of AI in the sector. SLBC, Aminata Bangua reporting.
Well, from that report, we now go to the international scene to bring you some international stories. In the international scene, the price of oil has risen after US President Donald Trump warned Iran that the clock is ticking as talks to bring the war to an end have stalled. Government borrowing costs in the US, Japan, and Europe also rose as fears over inflation continue to grow. Energy markets have been on a wild ride after Iran effectively closed the key Straits of Hormuz waterway in retaliation for US and Israeli strikes. Trump's message echoed his threats that a whole civilization would die unless Tehran agreed to a peace deal shortly before a ceasefire was announced in early April. The president is expected to hold a meeting on Tuesday with his top national security advisors to discuss the options for military action regarding Iran. At least 6 Americans have been exposed to the Ebola virus during a deadly outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The World Health Organization has declared the outbreak as an international emergency, with the DR Congo's health ministry reporting around 350 suspected cases and 91 deaths. 1 American is believed to have symptoms, with 3 others said to have faced a high-risk contact or exposure. More than 28,600 people were infected by Ebola during the 2014-2016 outbreaks in West Africa, the largest outbreak of the virus since its discovery in 1976. The disease spread to a number of countries within and outside of West Africa, including Guinea, Sierra Leone, the United States, the United Kingdom, and Italy, killing 11,325 people. Thousands of Kenyan commuters have been stranded and businesses paralyzed as public transport operators went on a nationwide strike to protest against the recent increase in cost of fare. Protesters have been barricading roads and lighting fires on the roads as the protest continued. The strike comes days after the authorities raised petroleum prices to record levels, with costs increasing by more than 20%. Kenya, like many other African countries, relies heavily on fuel imports from the Gulf, a supply route disrupted by the US-Israel conflict with Iran that began on 28 February. Even though a ceasefire has been declared, fuel prices have remained high as the Strait of Hormuz, where a fifth of the world's oil passes through, is still blocked. And finally, in the international news, the country's main opposition party, the African Party for the Independence of Cape Verde, has won parliamentary elections with 46% of the vote, according to provisional results from the early 98% of polling stations. Its leader, Francisco Carvalho, who is also the mayor of the capital, Praia, is poised to become the country's new prime minister. Outgoing Prime Minister Ulysses Silva has conceded defeat and congratulated his successor. With a population of about 550,000, Cape Verde is widely regarded as one of Africa's strongest democracies. The country's electoral calendar will conclude in November with a presidential election. Well, that's all for the international news. Well, with that, we'll bring the cutting down for this edition of News Hour Live on TV. But before we go, a reminder of our top stories. President Julius Maada Bio has called for strong leadership across Africa during an address at the Oxford African Conference 2026. The president said Africa's future will depend not only on reclaiming its voice, but also on building durable institutions capable of withstanding modern challenges. Frabe College Alumni Association Sierra Leone chapter will be organizing a float parade as part of bicentenary activities, marking the institution's anniversary celebration under the theme Legacy, Leadership and Learning. The event aims to promote unity among alumni, celebrate the rich history of Frabe College, and support ongoing development initiatives within the institution. And as electricity tariff rates set to increase in some mini-grid communities due to improvement measures, the Electricity and Water Regulatory Commission has announced the launch of a public awareness campaign on the updated multi-year tariff order MYTO tool, a system designed to ensure electricity tariffs are fair, transparent, and predictable. Well, that's all we can offer in this edition of News Hour broadcast live on TV. Many thanks to you for being part of the news. My name is Frances Bernard. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.